Are you tired of watching your life replay the same patterns? The same bank balance, the same waiting, the same almost? Have you whispered affirmations with dry lips, prayed from an empty gut, and still awakened to nothing but delay? Tonight, don't try. Don't fight. Don't strain to force a different outcome. You've done that already. And I tell you now, it was never effort that moved the world. It has always been assumption, inner speech, the quiet tone of certainty beneath your breath. So as you lay your body down, let these next hours soften the noise and rewrite the vibration you carry from the inside out. You don't have to push anymore. You only need to let go. Whisper this once, it's already mine now. Then drift into the state where the world begins to echo what you dared to accept in silence. You were taught to work for money, to strive, to earn, to wait. But hear this, what you strive for, you push away. What you chase, you tell yourself you do not yet own. The secret has never been in the numbers or the odds. It's not in the ticket you hold, but in the state you occupy before you even play. Let these words settle. And as they do, imagine that you are stepping into a deeper room within yourself, a room where calm replaces tension, where creative ideas rise like dawn, and where money and opportunities begin to approach quietly, naturally. Because you have stopped chasing and started receiving. Now close your eyes and let the room around you fade. Feel the weight of your body against the mattress, the quiet support of the pillow beneath your head. With every breath, allow the day to slide off your shoulders. The lists, the noise, the small worries about tomorrow. Imagine them dissolving like mist, until there is only a calm darkness, like soft velvet behind your eyelids. In this quiet space, picture a door appearing before you. Its surface glows with a subtle gold light. On the other side lies a life where money flows easily, where opportunities arrive naturally, where you live with ease rather than effort. As you breathe, see your hand reaching for the handle. The door is warm, inviting. When you open it, you step into a world bathed in morning light. Look around. There's a calm sense of order here. Bills are paid. Savings grow quietly in your account. Work feels creative, not heavy. You feel supported, guided. Walk slowly through this scene. Notice the details. The smell of fresh coffee in your kitchen. The clear numbers on your bank statement. The email congratulating you on a successful project. Everything here confirms a single truth. Abundance has already found you. Let yourself feel it in your body. Notice how your chest loosens, how your stomach settles, how the tension in your forehead melts away. This is the frequency of having, not wanting. Stay here for a few breaths, memorizing the way it feels. Now picture yourself receiving money in a way that feels natural. Maybe it's a message from your bank, or a new client eager to pay for your work, or an unexpected refund you had forgotten about. Whatever image comes, allow it to play out gently. See yourself smiling, thankful, at ease. You don't chase it. It simply arrives, like rain that falls on a field already planted. As you watch these scenes, repeat silently, "It's already mine now." Say it slowly, as if each word is sinking deep into the fertile soil of your mind. Breathe in, and imagine every inhale filling you with quiet confidence, every exhale releasing the last scraps of doubt. Stay with that rhythm until it begins to feel as familiar as your own heartbeat. See yourself now walking through a quiet street in the early morning. The sun is just rising, casting soft gold over cobblestones, still damp with dew. Shops are opening one by one, shutters lifting, lights glowing warmly inside. In the window of a little cafe, you spot your reflection, calm, steady, someone who knows that good things are already underway. Keep walking until you reach a small square. At its center is a marble fountain. The water catches sunlight and throws it back in ripples of silver and pale gold. Around the edge are smooth benches, and on one of them rests a leather-bound journal. Sit and open it. The pages are filled with neat handwriting, your handwriting. But from a wiser part of you, they speak of clear planning, small, steady steps, and the quiet confidence that attracts allies and opportunities. They remind you that money grows from clarity, generosity, and inspired action, not from fear. Turn another page and see a message written simply. Abundance belongs to you the moment you agree to receive it. Let those words sink deep. As you close the journal, a light breeze brushes your cheek. It carries the scent of fresh bread from a nearby bakery and the promise of a peaceful, prosperous day. You feel yourself smiling, not because you're trying to make anything happen, but because you can already sense that life is meeting you halfway. Now imagine a friend approaching across the square. They greet you warmly and hand you an envelope. Inside is a note confirming a payment you'd been waiting for, or perhaps an invitation to collaborate on a project you've secretly hoped to create. You thank them with an easy heart, feeling how natural it is to welcome support. Walk together to a bright terrace where a table is laid for breakfast. On it are simple foods, coffee steaming in a porcelain cup, and a small stack of documents, invoices, agreements, ideas sketched on paper. They don't feel heavy or complicated. They feel alive, ready, like seeds about to grow. Look out beyond the terrace. There's a landscape stretching for miles. Gentle hills, open fields, a river winding through them, all under a sky washed clean by morning light. That view is the mirror of your own potential, wide, open, waiting for you to take part in it. Breathe deeply, letting the image settle. Let the soft certainty of provision become part of you, a quiet hum beneath your ribs. This is the feeling you will carry back into waking life, the steady knowing that abundance doesn't arrive from panic or chase. It rises from the way you inhabit yourself, from the terrace. Notice a stone path leading down toward the river you saw in the distance. Follow it slowly, each step feeling light and easy. The path is lined with wild flowers, their petals brushing gently against your legs as you walk. A soft breeze carries the scent of lavender and something sweet you can't quite name. When you arrive at the riverbank, you see a small wooden dock stretching a few feet out over the water. Sitting there is a polished rowboat waiting just for you. Step inside and settle onto the cushioned seat. The boat drifts forward on its own, gliding across water as smooth as glass. Around you, sunlight dances on the surface in tiny flashes, like coins catching the light. As you watch the ripples widen behind the boat, imagine their waves of prosperity flowing outward from the calm state you're creating right now. Each breath you take seems to draw more gentle current toward you. Support, ideas, steady income, generous connections. Nothing about this feels forced. It's as natural as the boat's movement across the river. Soon you arrive at the opposite shore, where a wide meadow opens before you. At its center stands a pavilion made of pale stone and carved wood. Curtains of sheer fabric sway in the breeze, revealing a long table set with papers, open notebooks, and objects that symbolize stability. A small chest, a polished key, a handful of smooth stones engraved with words like clarity, focus, trust. Sit at the table and allow yourself to touch each item. The chest reminds you of savings growing quietly. The key suggests doors opening, new work, helpful partners, inspired solutions. The stones remind you of the quiet strength inside you, the part that can stay calm and clear even when life seems uncertain. Beyond the pavilion, you notice a group of people approaching across the meadow. They carry baskets, folders, even instruments, symbols of creativity and collaboration. As they reach you, they smile, placing their offerings on the table. One person hands you a letter confirming a promotion. Another offers a folder containing an idea for a joint venture. Someone else simply places a hand over yours, a gesture of support. Look around at these faces. They aren't promising miracles. They're reminders that wealth often arrives through community, exchange, and the confidence to step forward. Allow yourself to feel part of that circle, not separate, not lacking, but connected, able to contribute and to receive in equal measure. Stay with this picture for a while. Let the warmth in your chest grow steady, as if you've already stepped into a larger, freer chapter of your life. Notice how different this energy feels from chasing or grasping. It's calm, grounded, quietly sure. When you're ready, rise from the table and look out over the meadow once more. The pavilion, the river, the people, they remain behind you, glowing softly, ready for you to return anytime you need to remember how abundance really begins inside. With the stories you choose to tell yourself. From the edge of the meadow, a narrow stone stairway winds upward along a hillside. Follow it slowly, feeling each step steady beneath you. At the top, a wide platform opens, framed by smooth pillars. Beyond the pillars stretches a view that takes your breath. Rolling fields touched with sunlight, small villages where people bustle with purpose, rivers glinting as they twist through valleys. All of it seems alive, as if the landscape itself is cheering you on. Walk across the platform toward a low table carved from pale marble. On it rests a single lantern, burning with a soft golden flame. Beside the lantern lies a sheet of parchment and a fountain pen filled with deep blue ink. Sit down and, without overthinking, begin to write a few words about the life you're choosing now. Words about freedom, steady resources, creative work that nourishes you and others. Let the ink flow without effort, as if it already knows the sentences waiting to emerge. When you finish, roll the parchment gently and tie it with a ribbon. Place it inside the lantern. As you do, the flame brightens, then steadies, casting a calm glow over everything around you. This light is the quiet signal you send to your own mind, a message that you are ready to live from clarity instead of fear. Stand and walk to the far side of the platform, where a set of steps descends into a lush orchard. Trees heavy with fruit sway lightly in the breeze, apples, pears, figs, pomegranates. Their scent is rich and sweet. Take a piece of fruit from a branch and hold it in your hands. Its skin is warm from the sun, and inside it carries nourishment, sweetness, potential. As you taste it, let that flavor remind you how good it feels to enjoy the rewards of steady, inspired work. Further along the path you come to a calm lake, its surface smooth as polished glass. Kneel at the water's edge and look down. Instead of your reflection, you see scenes from a future where you handle money with ease, where your projects are thriving, where you give generously because you have more than enough. Watch the images drift across the lake. Quiet mornings filled with purpose, conversations where people thank you for the value you've shared, a sense of lightness around all things financial. Dip your fingers into the lake and feel a cool current run up your arm. That current carries permission. Permission to let go of old stories about lack, permission to accept help, permission to rise without guilt or strain. Let that permission settle in your chest, a calm strength you can draw on even after you wake. As you stand, notice the horizon once again. The sun is lowering toward it, painting the sky in soft amber and rose. You understand now that greatness isn't a storm you must chase. It's a quiet river that flows toward you, as soon as you step aside and allow it. Walk back through the orchard, across the platform, and down the hill, carrying this steady knowing like a gentle warmth beneath your ribs. Imagine the sky shifting slowly into twilight as you follow a winding path lined with lanterns. Their warm glow pools on the ground, guiding you forward. The air smells faintly of cedar and sweet grass, and somewhere nearby you hear water moving with a steady hush. Soon you arrive at a wide stone bridge arched over a tranquil inlet. The surface of the water is calm, reflecting lantern light like scattered coins. Pause in the middle of the bridge and lean over the rail. In the stillness, the water begins to shimmer with images, glimpses of yourself living with ease, paying bills without tension, calmly building savings, celebrating small wins that grow into bigger ones. Let each picture drift across the water like a gentle promise. Continue across the bridge until you reach a quiet courtyard paved with smooth river stones. In the center is a circular pool fed by a spring. Golden fish swim lazily beneath the surface, each one leaving a ripple that spreads wide and smooth. Sit on the edge of the pool. With one finger, trace patterns in the cool water, and imagine those ripples carrying out new opportunities. A clear idea for a project, an introduction to someone supportive, a thoughtful solution to something that once felt heavy. Watch the ripples travel, knowing they return as steady results. Beyond the courtyard stands a library built of honey-colored wood. Step inside and notice the comforting scent of paper and cedar shelves. A single book rests open on a table, its pages filled with calm sentences about security, generosity, and wise action. As you read, the words seem to sink gently into your memory. You are safe to grow. You are capable of shaping your future with calm, deliberate steps. Close the book and feel a sense of quiet, determination settle into your body. Leaving the library, you find yourself on a hillside dotted with wild herbs. A light breeze brushes over you, carrying the scent of rosemary and mint. Below lies a village, bathed in evening light, homes with open windows, people laughing softly as they prepare supper, markets closing after a fruitful day. Look at this scene and allow it to remind you that prosperity is woven from many small, steady actions, and that the peace you cultivate inside shapes the way you meet those moments. Take a slow breath, feeling the hillside beneath your feet, the wind across your face, the calm knowledge that there is room for you to thrive. Let that knowing move through your whole body, as gentle and certain as the fading light around you. As night settles fully over the landscape, picture yourself walking along a forest trail, lit by a wide silver moon. The trees stand tall on either side, their branches heavy with leaves that glow faintly in the moonlight. The path beneath your feet is soft with moss, cool and welcoming. Each step is unhurried, carrying you deeper into stillness. Ahead, the forest opens onto a quiet glen, where a clear spring bubbles from a stone. Beside it stands an old bench carved from cedar. Sit and listen to the spring for a moment. Its song is calm and constant, like a gentle assurance that support is always moving toward you. In your lap lies a smooth stone etched with the word enough. Run your fingers over its surface until the meaning begins to sink in. You have what it takes to meet life, and more will come as you move with clarity and patience. From the glen, follow a small wooden bridge that leads to a meadow bathed in moonlight. The grass glows softly, and tiny lights, fireflies, or perhaps something more mysterious, rise and fall like golden breath. Walk through them slowly. They gather around you, forming a halo of quiet brightness. In their glow you see scenes of tomorrow. Working calmly, finishing a task with pride, receiving payment with gratitude, sharing what you've built with someone who needed it. Watch those scenes play out as if they're already memories you carry. Beyond the meadows stands a circular stone building. Inside, warm lanterns cast pools of amber light on polished floors. In the center is a low table holding a bowl of clear water. Lean over it and look inside. The surface reflects not only your face, but also a life that feels whole. Steady income, generous friendships, projects that matter. Mornings where you wake unhurried because you trust yourself. Touch the water lightly and see ripples spread, carrying that vision further into your subconscious. Step back outside and tilt your head to the stars. They seem closer now, bright enough to paint a silver path through the air. Follow that path with your eyes until it leads you back to the place where you began this journey, the quiet room where your body rests. Know that everything you saw is not a promise to wait for, but an invitation to hold steady inside yourself, so you can notice and respond to opportunities when they appear. Take one more easy breath. Let your shoulders drop, your jaw unclench, and allow a small smile to soften your face. Carry the images of moonlit meadows, gentle springs, and steady rivers with you into sleep, knowing that calm clarity is the richest ground from which success can grow. Imagine the moon slowly giving way to the first light of dawn. A gentle pink glow spreads across the horizon, and birds begin to sing in the distance. You find yourself on the veranda of a quiet retreat, overlooking a valley, waking to a new day. The air is fresh, tinged with the scent of pine and sweet flowers, As you lean against the wooden railing, you feel both rested and quietly strong, as though the night has left you gifts you're only now beginning to unwrap. Step inside the retreat and walk down a wide hallway lined with windows. Through them you see calm gardens, a small orchard, and beyond that, a cluster of homes built around a clear stream. Picture yourself moving through these spaces with ease, preparing a meal for people you love, lending support to someone, starting out, creating something beautiful that brings others joy. Let the images remind you that money is not an end in itself. It is a tool, a gentle servant of the life you're meant to build. From the hallway, a spiral staircase leads you upward to a room filled with sunlight. In the center stands a round table, surrounded by open ledgers and simple instruments, a pencil, a ruler, a stack of envelopes. Everything here speaks of order and possibility. Sit at the table and pick up a pencil. Write a few lines about projects that excite you, about ways you'd like to invest in yourself and in others. Picture each line becoming real. A studio opening, a workshop thriving, a scholarship you fund, a trip that enriches your work and your spirit. When you finish writing, set the pencil down and watch as a soft breeze stirs the pages, as though the room itself approves of your plans. The breeze carries you toward a door that opens onto a balcony bathed in morning gold. From here you see a wide landscape alive with potential, small boats setting out across a lake, people gathering in fields, a craftsman raising a frame for a new home. Everything speaks of movement, purpose, and quiet prosperity. Take a deep, even breath. Let the sense of calm mastery settle deeper, the awareness that you don't have to grasp or rush. You are already part of a living network of creativity, kindness, and steady flow. As you prepare to drift fully into sleep, hold that awareness gently, like a light resting in your chest. See yourself walking along a quiet shoreline. At sunrise, the sea is perfectly calm, its surface reflecting pink and gold as the sky begins to open. Each wave is slow and even, brushing the sand as if smoothing every worry away. You stroll barefoot where the water meets the land, leaving soft prints that fill quickly with glimmering foam. As you breathe in the salt air, you notice a feeling of space, room inside you for new ideas, new opportunities, new balance around money and work. Ahead is a small jetty, stretching over the water. A chair waits at the end, turned toward the horizon. Sit there and watch the line where sea meets sky. Imagine that line as the meeting point between the life you've known and the life you're ready to grow into. Let your thoughts drift beyond numbers and plans, toward a steady sense of capacity. You are able, resourceful, creative. You can meet life with calm and build what matters. From the jetty, a narrow path leads to a garden hidden behind sand dunes. Inside, flowers bloom in every shade of gold, cream, and soft orange. A low fountain sends a clear stream into the air, catching the light so that it falls back like silver threads. Walk slowly around the fountain. With every step, see images rise from the water, projects completed with pride, payments received easily, moments of generosity, days filled with meaningful work. Let these scenes reassure you that prosperity is not a storm to chase, but a river that grows when you tend it patiently. Move deeper into the garden and find a small pavilion open on all sides. Curtains of pale linen sway gently, letting morning air move through. On a table rests a clay bowl filled with smooth stones engraved with single words: clarity, focus, trust, patience, generosity. Pick one up and close your hand around it. Feel how steady it is, how cool and sure. Let that steadiness spread through your body, a quiet reminder that strength and abundance begin as an inner posture. As you leave the pavilion, look back over everything you've walked through tonight. Moonlit paths, rivers and meadows, libraries, calm waters. They're all parts of you. Landscapes of insight and balance, waiting whenever you pause to breathe and listen. Stand once more in the light of dawn, taking in the wide horizon. Know that this calm clarity is the richest ground for success, and that you can return to it whenever you need guidance or reassurance. Take a final slow breath, allowing the warmth of morning to rest in your chest as you exhale. Let your shoulders loosen and your face soften into an easy smile. Carry this quiet strength with you as you drift into sleep, knowing you're ready to meet tomorrow with creativity, steadiness, and an open heart. Imagine the sun now high above a wide, rolling landscape. You stand on the balcony of a quiet house, perched on a hill overlooking fields that stretch endlessly toward the horizon. Below, a river winds through the countryside, its surface catching light like strands of silver thread. The whole view feels alive yet peaceful, as though every breeze, every bird in flight is moving in harmony with a larger rhythm. Step down a stone staircase that leads into a walled garden at the back of the house. Olive trees line the path, their leaves shining softly in the warm light. A stone bench waits beside a pool of clear water. Sit there, letting the hush of the garden settle around you. When you lean over the pool, its surface becomes a gentle mirror, showing quiet victories, finishing work without stress, seeing your savings grow, sharing your skills generously, walking into meetings calm and confident. Allow these pictures to rise and fall like waves until they begin to feel as familiar as your own heartbeat. Beyond the garden lies a sunlit courtyard where a table has been set for a celebration. Friends, colleagues, and kind strangers gather there, laughing easily. You join them, feeling a quiet pride in the steady life you've been shaping. There's no rush, no tension, only the simple pleasure of being part of something whole. On the table are fruits, fresh bread, and envelopes holding news of projects completed, payments arriving, invitations to create more. Take a moment to accept one of the envelopes. Inside is a simple message. Keep going, you're already on the path. Walk on through an open gate at the far side of the courtyard. A soft breeze greets you, carrying the smell of herbs and warm stone. Ahead is a wide road leading toward the horizon. As you stand there, looking out across the fields and the slow river, notice how steady you feel, grounded, awake, capable. This is the state you've been cultivating all along. Not a desperate wish, but a calm readiness to meet life and work with clarity and grace. Take a final, even breath. Let your body settle deeper into rest. Hold this quiet, expansive sense of possibility as you drift towards sleep, knowing that the patience, focus, and generosity you nurture tonight will be waiting to guide you when morning comes. Stay with the rhythm of your breathing as the landscape shifts once more. Picture a long avenue lined with tall plane trees. Their branches meet high above, weaving a canopy that filters soft golden light down to the cobbled path below. Walk slowly along this avenue, hearing only the hush of wind through leaves and the steady sound of your own steps. At the end of the path stands a graceful archway carved from pale stone. Pass through it and find yourself in a courtyard surrounded by terraced gardens. Each terrace overflows with flowers and herbs, alive with bees and butterflies. A wide fountain at the center sends up slender threads of water that catch the light and fall back in silver rain. The air is fragrant, warm, and calm. A low table waits near the fountain, set with simple gifts, a leather journal, a small wooden box, a single candle already lit. Sit beside these objects. Open the journal and see pages filled with encouraging words written in an elegant hand. They speak of patience, craft, small steady actions, the kind that build a foundation for ease and stability. Close the book and place a hand over the wooden box. When you lift the lid, you find a smooth stone engraved with the word assurance. Hold it in your palm and let the meaning settle. You are allowed to trust yourself. You are safe to let growth happen quietly. Stand and walk toward the far end of the courtyard, where wide steps descend to a meadow. Here the grass sways gently, dotted with wildflowers. A single oak stands at its center, roots sunk deep, branches spread wide. Walk to that tree and rest your back against its trunk. Look out across the open fields, feeling their calm widen inside you. There's nothing to force, nothing to chase, only an open space, ready for thoughtful steps. Let the image of that tree and the wide horizon settle in your mind like a quiet promise. As you close your eyes, bring with you the sense that what you need can grow from steady attention, clear plans, and the patience to let good work bear fruit. With that awareness resting softly in your chest, you're ready to hear how others, through calm focus and perseverance, began to reshape their financial lives. Stay for a moment with the image of that great oak, the steady trunk behind your back, the wide field stretching out ahead. From this quiet place, let gentle voices begin to rise, stories from people who once stood where you are now, uncertain about how to invite stability and opportunity into their lives, but who discovered that a calm, focused approach could open doors. The first voice belongs to Sarah, a graphic designer who used to dread looking at her bank balance. She began to spend a few minutes each night letting herself settle, picturing clear invoices and a calendar full of steady work. She didn't expect instant miracles, but after a few weeks, she noticed something shift. She started answering inquiries with quiet confidence, and clients responded. Within a season, her income had grown enough for her to set aside real savings for the first time. Then there's David, a single father, who worked long hours at a warehouse. For years he believed he had no control over his finances. When he started practicing calm visualizations before bed, he found he woke with a clearer head. He reorganized his expenses, spoke with his manager about overtime, and slowly built a small side business repairing bikes. What began as a way to cover school supplies turned into a steady second income that gave him breathing space. Another story drifts forward. Lena, who ran a small cafe in a coastal town. She often felt anxious about keeping the business afloat. Night after night, she allowed herself to relax and imagine her shop warm with happy customers, the till balanced at the end of the day. Something in her attitude softened. She greeted visitors with ease, experimented with new menus, and began to attract regulars who loved the atmosphere. Within months, the cafe's earnings doubled, not through chance, but through the quiet confidence she had learned to carry. Now listen to Omar's experience. An engineer, he longed to start a creative project, but always found reasons to delay. During calm evening sessions, he pictured himself finishing the design, presenting it with pride, and receiving fair payment. The more he practiced, the more natural it felt to take small steps. Soon a friend introduced him to a partner who helped launch the project, and with it came a comfortable new income stream. Finally, hear from Mia, an artist who used to believe that earning well and staying true to her work couldn't coexist. By giving herself time each night to rest and picture people enjoying her paintings, she began reaching out to galleries with gentle assurance. Within a year, her art sales supported her living costs and gave her freedom to keep creating. Another voice drifts in, belonging to Daniel, a young carpenter who once felt trapped in irregular work. He started ending his days by sitting quietly, breathing slowly, and picturing a small workshop filled with steady orders. Over time, that picture stopped feeling like wishful thinking and started guiding how he organized his tools and spoke with customers. He began finishing jobs ahead of schedule, and word spread. Within a few months, he was able to hire an assistant and take on larger projects that paid reliably. Next comes Priya, who worked in a busy office but longed to write her own book. Money felt tight, and every spare moment seemed eaten by tasks. She began setting aside 10 minutes before sleep to rest, and imagine herself calmly editing chapters, receiving an advance, and sharing her finished work. The practice softened her resistance. She found herself using lunch breaks for short writing bursts and gently negotiating a raise to free more time. A year later, her manuscript was complete, and the raise allowed her to self-publish without strain. From across the field of memory comes Jorge's story. He drove a delivery van, and often worried about fuel costs and bills. At night he'd close his eyes and picture a version of himself standing tall, calmly setting budgets, and meeting expenses with ease. Little by little, he began applying small changes, grouping deliveries, maintaining his van better, looking for higher paying routes. Within 6 months, his earnings had grown and his stress had faded. Then there is Grace, a retired teacher who dreamed of opening a tiny shop selling handmade candles. The thought of startup costs frightened her, yet she kept letting herself drift into scenes of a warm shop front, shelves glowing with her creations, customers chatting kindly. Encouraged by that image, she researched local grants and small markets. Her first stall was modest but joyful, and within a year she was earning enough to cover her pension gaps. And finally, hear about Thomas, a student finishing a difficult degree while juggling part-time work. He began listening to calming talks before bed, letting them guide him into scenes where he balanced study, work, and a modest savings goal. That clarity shaped how he planned assignments and chose shifts. By the time he graduated, he had both a job offer and a cushion of savings, something he once thought impossible. Each of these stories carries the same quiet lesson. Progress rarely arrives through frantic grasping. It grows from moments of stillness, from letting a clear picture settle inside, and then allowing steady steps to rise naturally from that calm. Another voice drifts in, belonging to Daniel, a young carpenter who once felt trapped in irregular work. He started ending his days by sitting quietly, breathing slowly, and picturing a small workshop filled with steady orders. Over time, that picture stopped feeling like wishful thinking and started guiding how he organized his tools and spoke with customers. He began finishing jobs ahead of schedule, and word spread. Within a few months, he was able to hire an assistant and take on larger projects that paid reliably. Next comes Priya, who worked in a busy office but longed to write her own book. Money felt tight, and every spare moment seemed eaten by tasks. She began setting aside 10 minutes before sleep to rest and imagine herself calmly editing chapters, receiving an advance, and sharing her finished work. The practice softened her resistance. She found herself using lunch breaks for short writing bursts and gently negotiating a raise to free more time. A year later, her manuscript was complete, and the raise allowed her to self-publish without strain. From across the field of memory comes Jorge's story. He drove a delivery van and often worried about fuel costs and bills. At night, he'd close his eyes and picture a version of himself standing tall, calmly setting budgets and meeting expenses with ease. Little by little, he began applying small changes, grouping deliveries, maintaining his van better, looking for higher paying routes. Within 6 months, his earnings had grown and his stress had faded. Then there is Grace, a retired teacher who dreamed of opening a tiny shop selling handmade candles. The thought of startup costs frightened her, yet she kept letting herself drift into scenes of a warm shop front, shelves glowing with her creations, customers chatting kindly. Encouraged by that image, she researched local grants and small markets. Her first stall was modest but joyful, and within a year she was earning enough to cover her pension gaps. And finally, hear about Thomas, a student finishing a difficult degree while juggling part-time work. He began listening to calming talks before bed, letting them guide him into scenes where he balanced study, work, and a modest savings goal. That clarity shaped how he planned assignments and chose shifts. By the time he graduated, he had both a job offer and a cushion of savings, something he once thought impossible. Each of these stories carries the same quiet lesson. Progress rarely arrives through frantic grasping. It grows from moments of stillness, from letting a clear picture settle inside and then allowing steady steps to rise naturally from that calm. Take a final breath and let the voices of all those stories settle around you like a soft blanket. They aren't loud promises, they're reminders that change grows quietly, the way roots spread under soil before blossoms appear. Think back over the paths you've walked tonight. Moonlit gardens, calm rivers, tables where plans took shape, voices sharing how patience and clarity allowed them to thrive. All of it has been guiding you toward one simple knowing, that the way you speak to yourself, The way you hold an image of calm capability is what gives shape to tomorrow's actions. You don't need to rush or demand. You don't have to wait for someone else to grant permission. Everything you saw, the savings accounts, the new clients, the steady work, the warmth of sharing success, begins in the quiet confidence you nurture now. As you rest, allow that confidence to settle deeper. Let your breath become slow and steady, carrying ease through your body. If you wish, repeat gently, I am calm. I am capable. I am open to opportunities. Say it once, softly, then let it dissolve into silence, leaving only a clear, steady space inside. When morning comes, you'll meet it from this steadiness, able to notice what serves you, to take wise steps, to enjoy what you create, and to share it freely. If this journey has helped you feel lighter, more focused, or simply peaceful, keep tending to that feeling. Return to these words whenever you need to reconnect with clarity. And if you'd like to walk more of these calm paths, subscribe and join us for future sessions. Share your reflections in the comments so others can be encouraged by your experience. For now, close your eyes completely. Let sleep come, gentle and unhurried. Carry with you the quiet truth that your inner steadiness is already shaping the life ahead, step by thoughtful step, night by night. Imagine yourself slowly walking down a path that winds toward a wide valley. The air is fresh and clean, and every breath seems to fill your chest with quiet ease. On either side of the path, tall trees let their leaves fall in slow spirals, catching the late sunlight before they settle softly on the ground, as though time here moves a little more gently. As you keep walking, the land opens to reveal a green meadow, scattered with tiny flowers swaying in a light breeze. In the center, a clear stream glides over smooth stones, throwing small sparks of light across its surface. Sit by the water for a moment and watch how it moves, never hurried, always finding its way around each curve and pebble. Notice how its steady flow mirrors your own abilities. Even when the terrain shifts, there is a calm strength in you that knows how to keep going. The narrow stone bridge carries you across the stream into a quiet walled garden. Ivy climbing the old stone walls. Inside, paths of pale gravel lead to little corners, a bench beneath an olive tree, an open notebook resting in the sun, a small table with paper and pen. You sit on the bench and let your eyes wander. Everything here breathes order and gentleness, reminding you that your goals, financial or personal, can grow in the same way as this tended garden. Slowly, carefully, without rush. You rise and follow the path to a terrace overlooking the valley. Below you can see villages, neat fields, and a river gleaming in the distance. Let yourself imagine that every part of that landscape represents an area of your life, your well-being, your work, your relationships, your sense of stability. Notice how all of it feels connected, how every clear step you take supports the whole picture. Far away, a group of people gathers around a large wooden table. They move with quiet purpose, sharing ideas, laughing softly as they plan something meaningful. You join them, and they welcome you easily. On the table are notebooks, sketches, warm mugs of tea. The air is full of possibility, but free of tension. You realize that progress doesn't need to come from pressure. It can rise from clarity, focus, and steady, thoughtful effort. When you finally say goodbye and turn back toward the hillside, the sun is dropping lower, spilling a soft gold across the valley. Take one more deep breath and feel the warmth settle inside you. There is room within you for this same serenity, a calm center you can return to whenever you need balance or strength. As you walk back up the path, become aware once more of your body resting where you are now. Hold on to that spaciousness and calm. Let it follow you into deep, quiet sleep, preparing you to wake with clear eyes and steady hands, ready to meet the day with purpose and peace. Picture yourself stepping out of the valley and onto a gentle hillside path. The sky has deepened into twilight, painted with rose and indigo, and the first stars are beginning to glow. A faint breeze lifts your hair as you climb, carrying the scent of wood smoke from somewhere far below. Each step feels light, as though the earth itself is supporting you. At the crest of the hill stands a wooden cabin with windows glowing amber. Push the door open and step inside. The room is simple but welcoming, shelves lined with well-loved books, a sturdy table set with a candle, a few sketches pinned to the wall. A quiet fire crackles in the hearth, casting warm light across the floor. This cabin belongs to you, a place where your ideas can rest and grow. Sit at the table and look at the papers spread before you. They hold notes for projects you've been carrying in your heart, a letter you've been meaning to write, a plan to steady your finances, a design for something beautiful you want to build. As you glance over each page, notice how calm you feel. There's no rush, no voice telling you it isn't possible. Only the soft certainty that steady attention and clear choices will let these things take form. Take one of the papers and write a few lines about a goal that matters to you. Perhaps it's creating a small savings cushion, or finishing work that will help others, or giving yourself space to enjoy what you've earned. As you write, imagine each word settling firmly, like stones placed carefully into a path. When you're done, set the paper aside and walk to the window. Outside, the stars are brighter now, scattered across a velvet sky. Their reflections dance on a quiet lake just beyond the cabin. Open the door and step outside into the cool air. Walk to the edge of the lake and watch the stars shimmer on its surface. See yourself mirrored there, calm, capable, someone who can shape their life with thoughtfulness rather than haste. Kneel and touch the water. A soft ripple spreads outward, carrying with it the sense that every calm decision, every moment spent in clarity, sends out waves that return as opportunities, friendships, and steady rewards. Let that feeling soak into you, as natural and sure as the night sky above. Stand slowly and look back toward the warm glow of the cabin. Know that you can return here, to this quiet strength, whenever you need to plan, to rest, or to remind yourself of the difference a clear, relaxed heart can make. Take one more long, easy breath. Let your shoulders drop and allow a gentle smile to settle on your face. As you turn back towards sleep, carry this scene with you, the cabin, the stars, the smooth lake, and the steady confidence that lives inside you, ready to guide your next steps. Imagine dawn returning, this time over a wide river plain. Mist curls above the water, soft and silver in the first light. You're standing on a wooden deck that stretches out over the riverbank. Behind you is a quiet village, just waking up, small houses with shutters opening, faint voices greeting the morning. Ahead of you, the river slides past at an easy pace, broad and calm, catching the light like a sheet of polished glass. There's a little boat moored at the edge of the deck. Step aboard and settle on a seat lined with woven blankets. The boat drifts without effort, gliding downstream, as if guided by an unseen hand. Around you, the scenery comes alive. Farmers tending gardens, bakers lifting fresh loaves from stone ovens, children running through fields of golden grass. You watch with a gentle smile, noticing how each person's work adds to the quiet abundance of the valley. The river bends toward a sunny clearing, where a long table has been set beneath flowering trees. A group of people is already gathered there, laughing softly, passing baskets of fruit, bread, and honey. When they see you, they wave you over. You step ashore and walk toward them, greeted with warmth that feels both new and familiar. They make space for you at the table and offer you a plate. The air is fragrant with blossoms and fresh food, and you feel a glow of belonging. As you sit among them, you realize that this is what wealth really means, not just numbers, but the freedom to share, to gather, to give and receive without strain. Around the table, stories flow as easily as the river. Plans for small businesses, ideas for art, someone mentioning a new job that lets them provide for their family. You listen, inspired by the way each life has found a rhythm between work, joy, and generosity. One of the hosts hands you a small journal bound in soft leather. On its pages are simple words: Take what you need. Give what you can. Let balance guide you. You trace the letters with your fingertips, letting their meaning settle. Balance, ease, steady generosity. These are the roots of lasting success. When the meal is done, you help clear the table, sharing quiet laughter with your companions. Before you leave, they place a single flower in your hands, a token to remind you that what you cultivate inside doesn't stop with you. It spills outward, brightening the paths of others. Return to the boat and watch the clearing grow smaller behind you as you glide back along the river. The flower rests gently in your lap. The water whispers a steady song, carrying you toward rest and into the sense that abundance is not only something to build, but something to enjoy and share. As you settle deeper into that calm, let the sound of the river fade until you're back in the soft darkness of sleep, knowing you can revisit this place and the ease it brings whenever you wish. The boat carries you further along the river, and after a while the current slows. You drift toward a shore lined with tall grasses swaying in a warm breeze. Step out and feel the ground beneath your feet, soft earth, steady and cool. A narrow path leads you between fields dotted with wildflowers, their colors deepening as the light turns amber. At the edge of the fields stands a small stone archway. Pass beneath it and enter a wide courtyard, paved with smooth tiles. Around its edges, olive trees stretch their branches over low benches, casting dappled shade across the ground. In the center is a circular fountain, its water spilling gently over carved stone. Sit on the edge of the fountain and listen. Each drop seems to speak of quiet order, the rhythm of a life cared for with patience. From a nearby doorway, a friendly figure appears and gestures for you to follow. They lead you through a sunlit hall where paintings line the walls, images of people in calm, purposeful moments, finishing projects, teaching skills, tending gardens, enjoying meals with friends. Each picture carries a whisper. Steady steps create a steady harvest. The hall opens onto a terrace overlooking rolling hills. A table has been laid there, covered with soft cloth, a single candle flickering even in daylight. On the table rests a bundle of parchment tied with ribbon. Your host invites you to untie it. Inside are pages filled with encouraging notes, reminders to trust your learning, to give your plans room to grow, to remember that success is built in quiet layers. As you read, something inside you softens, not a burst of excitement, but a calm clarity. You sense that the ability to make wise choices has always been there, waiting beneath the noise of worry. You place the pages back on the table and gaze out at the hills, noticing how their gentle slopes seem to echo that steadiness. When you rise, your host smiles, placing a hand over your heart, as though to say, "Carry this peace with you." Walk back through the hall, out into the courtyard, and across the fields toward the riverbank. The flower from the meal is still tucked safely in your hand, its petals opening slightly in the evening air. You return to the boat and sit quietly as it drifts once more onto the river, the sky above you deepening into a velvet dusk. Feel the rhythm of the water beneath you. Let it remind you that calm focus is not weakness, but strength. The kind that allows you to build, to rest, to notice the right moment for action. Allow that sense of strength to settle gently inside you as the boat carries you toward the stillness of night. The river carries you into a sheltered cove where lanterns float on the water, their light swaying gently with the current. Step ashore and follow a path lined with smooth stones that glow faintly in the dusk. The path winds up a low rise and ends at a glass conservatory nestled among tall trees. Inside, soft lamps illuminate rows of flowering plants, their colors rich even in the evening light. Walk slowly between the plants. Their leaves brush lightly against your hands, releasing scents of jasmine and orange blossom. At the center of the room is a long wooden table covered with maps and drawings. Each one shows a different way people can shape their lives. A couple designing a calm home, an artist preparing an exhibition, a family planning a holiday paid for with careful savings, someone quietly starting a new trade. Take a seat at the table and look over the drawings. Notice how steady they feel, not hurried dreams, but clear plans waiting for patient attention. One sketch catches your eye, a picture of yourself standing tall, a calm smile on your face, papers in hand. They could be budgets, contracts, or simple notes of gratitude. Whatever they are, they speak of balance. A life where effort is matched by rest, where you have space to give and room to receive. A gentle caretaker appears, offering you a cup of tea fragrant with herbs. As you sip, they say nothing, only meeting your eyes with quiet assurance, as if to remind you that you already hold everything needed to tend your future with care. You feel warmth spreading through your chest, not the rush of chance, but the deep comfort of knowing you are capable and supported. When you finish your tea, the caretaker hands you a small lantern. Its flame glows steadily, casting soft light on the path ahead. Carry it with you as you leave the conservatory and step back into the night. The stars are sharp above, and the air smells faintly of pine. Walk slowly downhill, the lantern lighting each step, until you reach a clearing where the river widens into a calm lake. Stand on the shore and watch moonlight scatter across the water. Let that silver light remind you of the many quiet opportunities waiting to be met with clear eyes and steady hands. Feel a sense of ease settling in your shoulders, a certainty that you can welcome what is good without forcing it, that you can shape a generous life through calm focus and gentle persistence. When you're ready, step back into the boat and let it glide into the center of the lake. Look up at the stars and allow them to fill your awareness until all that remains is stillness, warmth, and the quiet promise of tomorrow. As you rest in the middle of the lake, imagine the stars fading slowly, one by one, until the sky begins to pale. A thin ribbon of light stretches along the horizon, soft and golden. Dawn is arriving. The boat rocks gently as a hush settles over the water, as if the whole world is pausing to breathe with you. Row, or simply let the current carry you toward a small wooden pier bathed in morning light. Step ashore and follow a narrow trail through a stand of silver birch. Their white trunks gleam softly, and new leaves rustle in the breeze. Ahead lies a meadow washed with the first warmth of the day. Walk barefoot through the grass, dew cool against your skin, and feel the quiet strength rising from the ground beneath you. At the far end of the meadow stands a house with wide windows, sunlight spilling across its porch. Push the door open. Inside, rooms glow with gentle brightness. There's a kitchen where a kettle hums, a desk waiting with blank pages, a calm space where you might sit and think about the day ahead. Everything about this house invites steadiness and welcome. Sit by the window with a warm cup in your hands. Outside, birds are beginning their songs, each note clear and bright. Picture yourself moving through this day with the same clarity, organizing tasks without hurry, handling money decisions with ease, sharing smiles with people you meet. See yourself finishing work, setting aside a little extra for your future, taking a walk in the afternoon sun, preparing an evening meal without a shadow of tension. As you watch the sunlight widen across the floor, let a simple sentence rise inside you, a quiet promise to meet the world from this calm center. It might be, I begin today steady and open. Say it softly in your mind, and feel its weight settle gently in your chest. Stay with that picture, the light, the steady rooms, the sense of balance in every breath. Know that this morning, whether you're about to drift deeper into sleep or rise to greet the day, belongs to you in its calm fullness. You are safe to rest. You are capable of shaping what comes next with thoughtfulness and care. Allow that feeling to settle through every part of you, as sure and natural as the dawn spreading across the sky. Stay a moment longer inside that bright house. Wander slowly from room to room, letting your fingers brush the smooth wood of the door frames, the soft fabric of curtains, moving with a breeze. Each space feels alive, ready to support the day you want to create. In one room you find a sturdy oak table. On it lies a blank journal, its pages waiting. Sit down, and in your imagination, open to the first page. Write a few steady sentences about what you value most: clarity, kindness, balance, the ability to use your skills in ways that help yourself and others. See the words settle onto the paper as if they have weight, as if they belong. When you're done, close the journal and set it aside. Step back onto the porch. Morning has grown stronger. Sunlight stretches over the meadow, turning drops of dew into tiny mirrors. Beyond the field, a path winds gently toward low hills covered in wild thyme and rosemary. Follow it at an easy pace, noticing how the scent of herbs rises with each step. Higher up, you find a stone bench tucked beneath an old tree. Sit there, look out across the valley, and feel how steady the landscape is. Hills holding their shape, the river below glinting softly, the sky opening wide above. As you rest, imagine yourself later in the day, moving through simple moments, sharing a meal, organizing your workspace, speaking kindly to someone, setting aside a small sum for a future plan. None of it feels heavy or complicated. It flows from the calm you've gathered here. Picture the satisfaction of tending to what matters, of seeing progress not as a race, but as a quiet rhythm. Rise slowly and walk down the hill. A small wooden gate leads you back to the lakeshore. The boat waits where you left it, rocking gently against the pier. Step inside and settle onto the seat. The water reflects a clear sky, pale and calm. As the boat drifts, you lean back and allow your eyes to close, carrying with you every image you've gathered tonight. Gardens and rivers, lanterns and stars, the warmth of shared meals, the quiet strength of morning light. Feel how those scenes have softened the edges of worry, how they've left behind space for focus, generosity, and quiet determination. Let that feeling become the final note of this journey, a calm foundation you can return to whenever you need to remember. That steady attention and small, clear steps shape the life ahead. The boat drifts toward a sheltered cove where the water is smooth as glass. Step ashore and follow a narrow path between flowering bushes. Their scent is light and sweet, floating on the air like a quiet blessing. The path curves around a stand of tall pines and opens onto a small clearing. At its center is a low stone circle, with a single flame burning steadily in the middle, neither harsh nor fragile, just a calm, enduring light. Sit beside the circle and watch the flame. Notice how it holds steady, no matter how softly the breeze moves around it. Let it remind you of the quiet center inside you, the part that stays calm even when the world is busy. This inner steadiness is what lets you notice opportunities, make good choices, and enjoy the simple rewards that follow. As you sit there, imagine that every breath you take feeds the flame, keeping it strong. Picture scenes unfolding beyond the clearing, you walking confidently into a new day, handling responsibilities with ease, meeting people with kindness, setting aside time and resources to support what matters most. All of it flows naturally from that calm fire at your core. When you're ready, rise slowly. Take one last look at the clearing, at the steady flame glowing in the quiet air. Know that you can return here anytime you need to rest or gather focus. Turn back toward the lake, where the boat waits in the early light. As you step aboard, feel a gentle gratitude for the peace you've gathered, for the sense of clarity waiting to guide you when you wake. Lie back, let the boat drift, and allow your body to grow heavier with each breath. The water carries you toward rest, and the steady flame you carry inside keeps glowing softly, ready to light the way when you open your eyes again. Picture yourself still lying back in that quiet boat. The water beneath you has turned the soft color of pearl, catching the pale light of a sky where dawn and night overlap. Slowly the boat glides toward a hidden inlet, framed by tall reeds that sway with a rhythm as old as the river itself. As you pass between them, the world seems to hush, as though you've stepped into a space set aside for reflection. Ahead is a stretch of sand that curves like a crescent moon. Step out and feel the sand, cool and fine beneath your feet. Follow the edge of the shoreline until you find a narrow wooden pier leading into the shallows. At the end stands a lantern whose glow blends with the early morning light. Beside it rests a journal wrapped in soft leather. Sit at the end of the pier, take the journal in your hands, and open to a blank page. Imagine the page filling gently with images of the life you're ready to tend. A desk where you work with focus, a kitchen where you share simple meals, the steady rhythm of saving and spending wisely. Moments of laughter with people who appreciate your presence. The pictures don't rush, they arrive like petals drifting onto still water, forming a pattern of balance and sufficiency. Allow each scene to settle before you turn the page. When you do, you find a sketch of a path leading through meadows and up into a low hill country. Close the journal, stand, and follow that path in your mind's eye. The grass is soft, dotted with wild thyme and small blue flowers. Climbing higher, you notice the smell of herbs warming in the rising sun. At the top of the hill, a bench has been placed to face the entire valley. Sit there, and let your gaze travel across the wide sweep of land, the river you sailed, the garden where you rested, the homes glowing with morning fires. Everything you've seen tonight lies spread before you like a quiet map. Stay there a while, breathing in the cool air, letting the hush of the valley settle inside you. Think of how all these images, rivers, lanterns, journals, fields, have shown the same truth in different forms, that a calm, clear center allows you to build, to share, to enjoy, to keep balance no matter how the seasons change. Notice how natural it feels now to hold that understanding, not as a task, but as part of who you are. When you rise from the bench, the sun has lifted fully, washing the landscape in gold. A small path winds down the far side of the hill, lined with rosemary and soft grass. Follow it at an easy pace. The air smells of new beginnings. As you reach the foot of the hill, you find a quiet stream crossing your path. Kneel and dip your hands in the water. Its coolness reminds you that life keeps flowing. Steady, patient, and that you can meet it the same way. Walk back toward the waiting boat, now resting gently against the shore. Step inside and settle onto the seat. Let your body grow heavier as the boat drifts once more into open water. Overhead, the sky is wide and clear, and somewhere beyond sight, the rest of your day, or your night's deep sleep, waits calmly, ready to meet the steadiness you've cultivated here. Take one long breath, slow and even. Feel the warmth of morning settle deep in your chest. Carry this quiet with you, knowing you can return to these shores, these meadows, these clear reflections, whenever you wish to remember that the richest ground for growth is always your own calm heart. Imagine yourself stepping off the boat onto a stretch of soft grass, still damp with the morning's dew. Ahead rises a gentle hill crowned with a circle of ancient trees. Their trunks are wide and knotted, their branches arching high above to form a quiet canopy. Walk slowly up the slope, letting the sun warm your face and shoulders. The air is cool and fragrant, filled with the earthy scent of moss and leaves. At the top you find a small clearing encircled by the trees. In its center stands a round stone table, smooth as river rock. On it are simple objects: a clay cup filled with clear water, a loaf of bread, a folded cloth, and a sprig of rosemary. Take a seat on the grass, and notice how still everything feels, how easily your body settles. This place seems to exist outside of hurry, a reminder that life's best work is rarely done in haste. Take the cup, sip the cool water, and allow yourself to think of the quiet victories already present in your life. Times you kept going when it mattered, moments when patience bore fruit, evenings shared with people who cared. Let those memories build a gentle warmth inside you, the kind that asks for nothing more than to be appreciated. When you are ready, place the cup back on the table and stand. Beyond the trees, a new view waits, a patchwork of fields, winding paths, and small homes where smoke curls from chimneys. Walk down through the grove and out into this valley. As you wander, notice small details: a farmer tying vines, children chasing each other, neighbors waving across a fence. Each scene carries the same message: steady hands, clear minds, and kind hearts make room for a good life. Soon you reach a stone bridge arching over a slow stream. Pause in the middle and lean on the railing. Watch the water slide beneath you, smooth and steady, and sense how it mirrors the flow you've been learning tonight, an inner current that lets you act with ease, keep balance, and enjoy what grows from your efforts. Cross the bridge and follow a lane lined with lavender until you return to the lake where your boat waits. The surface of the water is calm again, catching every reflection of sky and tree. As you step inside, settle comfortably and feel your body relax. The lake cradles you, holding all the images you've gathered. The gardens, the lanterns, the table on the hill, the laughter around shared meals. Everything you need to remember about calm focus and gentle persistence is folded into these pictures, ready to rise whenever you need them. Lie back and let your eyes grow heavy. The breeze strokes your face like a soft hand, and the world grows quiet around you. You know that what you've touched tonight, steadiness, clarity, generosity, lives inside you, waiting to guide the next clear step when you wake. The boat drifts once more, carrying you across the quiet lake toward a far shoreline bathed in golden light. As you step onto the bank, you find a pathway paved with pale stones leading through a meadow alive with soft colors: butter yellow daisies, blue cornflowers, delicate white clover. Each flower bends slightly in the breeze, releasing a faint sweetness that lingers in the air. Follow the path deeper into the meadow. A pair of deer stand at the edge of a small wood, watching with calm eyes before they melt silently back among the trees. Their presence is steady, unhurried, like the rhythm you've been learning to keep inside yourself. Beyond the wood lies an old orchard. Apple trees stretch wide branches heavy with ripening fruit. Walk slowly between them, brushing your fingers over smooth bark, letting the fragrance of apples surround you. One tree has a low branch hung with a single perfect apple, golden in the sun. Take it in your hand and feel its weight. Solid, sweet, ready. Bite gently and taste the freshness, a reminder that rewards ripen through time and care. A few steps farther on, you reach a stone cottage tucked against the hillside. Its windows glow with soft lamplight, and a wooden door stands slightly open. Inside, a small fire warms a cozy room filled with shelves of well-used books, a table set for tea, and a chair positioned to watch the flames. Sit down for a moment and let the warmth soak into you. Picture yourself here, at the end of a day well lived, work handled with ease, moments of laughter, decisions made from a clear place rather than a rushed one. On a nearby shelf rests a box carved from walnut. Open it and find slips of paper covered with short, steady words: patience, balance, trust, generosity. Hold one in your hands, letting its meaning settle like a pebble dropped into still water. Know that these qualities are already part of you, waiting to support every plan, every conversation, every chance to create or give. When you leave the cottage, dusk has deepened into soft twilight. Fireflies rise above the grass, weaving tiny threads of light. Walk slowly back through the orchard, across the meadow, and toward the lake. The boat is there, waiting, its surface reflecting the first shy stars. Step inside and stretch out comfortably. The water carries you again, smooth and sure, as the evening sky folds gently overhead. Feel how your body has grown heavier, your breath slower, your mind calm and clear. All the images of tonight, lanterns and bridges, valleys and rivers, shared meals and quiet rooms, are gathered inside you now, not as wishes to chase, but as quiet reminders of the strength you hold when you move through life with steadiness and ease. Let yourself rest in that knowing. Allow the boat's slow drift to become the rhythm of your breathing. Trust that you can return to these calm places whenever you choose, simply by closing your eyes and remembering the soft paths, the steady waters, and the peace you felt here. Stay here for a moment, floating on the quiet surface of the lake. Around you the night is calm, the air cool and fragrant with the last hint of blossoms from the meadow. Above, a few stars remain, steady and clear. Feel how peaceful your body has become. Your shoulders loose, your breath unhurried, your thoughts soft and still. Everything you've walked through tonight, the orchards, the bridges, the golden mornings, the rooms full of steady light, has been a way of showing you the same quiet truth. Security, abundance, and calm don't arrive through strain. They grow when you pause, when you make space to listen, when you let steady steps take root inside you. That steadiness is already yours. You carry it now, like the soft glow of the lantern you imagined holding. If you found comfort in these words, keep them close. Let them remind you, as you move through the days ahead, that you can meet challenges with clarity, enjoy what you build, and share it freely with others. Each time you come back to this calm, you're strengthening the ground where good things take shape. Now, allow your eyes to close completely. Let the rhythm of your breathing become the only sound you notice. Sleep, or rest, or sit quietly a little longer, whatever you need. Trust that the calm you've gathered will stay with you, ready to guide you when you wake. And when you feel ready, you can return here, to this stillness, to the quiet light inside you. Anytime you need to remember that clarity and gentleness have power, and that steady attention is enough to shape a meaningful life. Good night, and may your next steps be calm, clear, and full of quiet strength. Close your eyes and allow your breath to settle into a slow, even rhythm. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a wide meadow, just as the sun begins to rise. The grass is still wet with dew, and each blade catches the first light, sparkling like a field of tiny stars. As you take a step forward, the coolness of the ground meets the warmth of sunlight on your face. With every step, your shoulders release a little more tension, and a gentle steadiness begins to fill your body. Ahead, a stone path curves through the meadow and leads to a small wooden bridge. As you cross, listen to the soft sound of water moving beneath you. Pause in the middle and look down. The stream is clear, carrying leaves and petals downstream, unhurried, always finding its way. Let that image remind you that your own life can move with this same calm flow, even when the terrain shifts. On the other side of the bridge is a grove of ancient trees. Their trunks are thick and gnarled, their leaves whispering lightly in the breeze. Walk between them, feeling the air grow cool and still. Sunlight filters through the canopy in long golden beams, painting warm patterns across the ground. With every breath, you feel more anchored, more certain that there is space for you to grow without rushing. The grove opens onto a terrace of smooth stone overlooking a valley. Below you can see a river winding between green hills, cottages with smoke curling from chimneys, and fields neatly divided by low hedges. Everything you see carries a quiet order, the kind that comes from steady attention and patient care. Sit on a bench carved into the rock and let your gaze rest on the view. Notice how the landscape doesn't demand anything of you. It simply invites you to be present, to trust that life can unfold one clear step at a time. After a while, rise and follow a gentle path down toward the river. As you walk, the scent of herbs drifts up from the hillside. Suave thyme, rosemary, lavender warmed by the morning sun. At the water's edge, a small rowboat waits. Climb in and let the current carry you slowly along. The river widens, reflecting the blue of the sky, the green of trees, and the bright touches of wildflowers along the bank. With each breath, feel a deeper ease settling inside you. The boat drifts toward a quiet cove where a circle of smooth stones surrounds a single flame burning in a lantern. Step ashore and sit by the lantern. Its light is steady, glowing against the cool shade of the rocks. As you watch, you sense that the flame mirrors something inside you, a clear, calm strength that stays steady no matter what breezes pass by. Spend a few moments with that awareness, letting it grow comfortable and familiar. When you're ready, return to the boat and lie back against the wooden seat. Look up at the open sky, now washed with a deeper blue. The water carries you gently onward, supporting your body with its soft rhythm. Allow all the images you've seen, the meadow, the bridge, the trees, the valley, the quiet flame, to settle into a single quiet feeling. You are safe, capable, and ready to meet what comes with a steady heart. Take a slow breath in, and as you breathe out, feel yourself sinking further into relaxation, knowing you can revisit these scenes whenever you need peace or focus. Close your eyes and picture a soft amber light stretching across a calm horizon. You're standing at the edge of a long tree-lined avenue just as the day begins to fade. The air is warm with the scent of pine needles and sweet grass. Overhead, the first stars peek out through a pale sky. Walk slowly down the avenue. The ground beneath your feet is firm but cushioned by fallen leaves. Their dry whisper mixes with the gentle hush of the evening breeze. As you move deeper into the trees, lanterns begin to appear, hung at even intervals along the path. Their light pools across the earth, guiding you forward. At the end of the avenue, you come to a quiet square paved with pale stones. In the center is a fountain, its waters spilling in a steady rhythm. Around it stand small tables draped with linen, each holding something simple: a bowl of ripe fruit, a vase of fresh herbs, a stack of clean paper weighted with a smooth stone. Sit at one of the tables. Rest your hands on the cool surface and notice how still everything feels. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your own life mirrored in this square, calm, ordered, open. Picture yourself tending to what matters, preparing meals with friends, balancing tasks at work, setting aside resources for plans that matter to you. None of it feels heavy. It carries the same unhurried rhythm as the fountain's water. When you open your eyes, you see a door at the far edge of the square. Walk toward it and step into a sunlit room lined with shelves of handmade objects: clay bowls, woven baskets, small sculptures carved from wood. Each piece holds a story of patience and quiet skill. You run your fingers along the smooth grain of a bowl and feel inspired to create, to invest time in something meaningful. From this room, another door leads you onto a terrace overlooking rolling hills. The sky is deepening now, painted with soft purples and gold. Below, fields ripple in the breeze, and in the distance, a cluster of homes glows with the first lights of evening. Standing there, you understand that prosperity in any form is not a sudden storm, but a garden grown through clarity, kindness, and steady action. Stay a while, leaning on the terrace rail. Let the view remind you of everything you already hold: the ability to focus, to learn, to take steps one at a time, to enjoy and share what comes from your efforts. Notice how natural it feels to breathe here, how quietly strong you are when you let the rush fall away. When you're ready, walk back through the square. The lanterns now shine brighter against the dusk. Follow them to the avenue where the scent of pine has deepened with evening coolness. Take each step slowly, letting your body grow heavier, your mind quieter. Ahead, the path opens to a calm lake, reflecting the new night sky. Your small boat waits, rocking gently at the water's edge. Climb aboard and stretch out, feeling the boards steady beneath you. The lake holds you as the stars grow clear overhead. Every scene you visited tonight, the fountain, the terrace, the handmade treasures, the lantern-lit road, gathers into a quiet center inside you. Carry that calm strength with you, knowing you can return to it whenever you wish. Picture the boat gliding gently across the lake until it reaches a low stone landing. Step out and follow a lantern-lit path that winds up a slope covered with soft moss. The air is cooler here, scented faintly with rosemary and pine. As you climb, the trees thin out to reveal a wide plateau bathed in moonlight. At the center stands a circular pavilion with tall wooden pillars, its roof open to the stars. Walk inside the pavilion. A long wooden table stretches across the space, set with simple food: warm bread, bowls of olives, a jug of clear water, a few candles flickering in the still air. Around the table sit people whose faces you recognize from your own life: mentors, friends, relatives, even people you haven't met yet, but somehow already know will encourage you. They smile as you arrive, making space for you at the table. As you take a seat, a calm voice invites everyone to share one thing they've been quietly proud of, something they built, learned, or offered to others without fanfare. One by one, they speak: a neighbor who tended a community garden, a friend who found balance in their work, a mentor who supported someone through a challenge. Listen to their stories, noticing how small actions, guided by steady hearts, grow into moments worth celebrating. When it's your turn, speak gently about something you've nurtured. A step you took, an effort you sustained, a way you've cared for yourself or someone else. There's no need for grand gestures. Even the smallest progress deserves to be honored. As you speak, you feel warmth in your chest, a sense of belonging to a quiet circle of people who value patience and kindness. A gentle breeze stirs the pavilion, carrying the scent of night-blooming flowers. Someone lights an extra candle and places it near you, its steady flame, a reminder of your own inner light. Around the table, voices soften into easy laughter. The gathering isn't about achievement for its own sake. It's about recognizing that slow, thoughtful steps create a life that feels whole. When the meal is finished, you stand with your companions and look out at the moonlit valley below. The lake gleams, the hills rest in shadow, and a few lights shine from distant homes. Everything feels balanced, as if the world is quietly affirming that steady hands and open hearts leave a mark far deeper than haste ever could. You walk back down the slope, candles glowing behind you in the pavilion. At the water's edge, your boat waits, rocking gently. As you step aboard, let the calm of this gathering settle inside you. It tells you that celebration doesn't have to be loud or fleeting. It can be as soft as candlelight, as lasting as the stars reflected in still water. Lie back in the boat. The lake carries you again, smooth and sure, beneath a sky now filled with constellations. Feel how light yet grounded you've become, supported by everything you've explored tonight, ready to rest or wake renewed, knowing that a steady, generous heart can meet whatever lies ahead. Stay lying back in the boat as it rocks lightly on the lake. Above, the constellations are bright and unhurried, scattered across a velvet sky. A cool breeze carries the scent of the forest and a faint sweetness from the meadow beyond. The water laps softly against the hull, a slow rhythm that seems to match your breathing. After a while, the boat drifts toward a narrow channel, where willows lean over the water, their long branches trailing like green silk. Glide beneath them, watching moonlight scatter through the moving leaves. The channel opens into a hidden lagoon, perfectly still, its surface reflecting the stars so clearly it feels as though you're floating through the heavens themselves. Step ashore onto a stretch of soft sand. A winding path leads away from the lagoon, lined with small lanterns that glow like fireflies. Follow it at an unhurried pace. Soon you reach a gentle rise crowned by a single ancient oak, its branches spread wide, heavy with leaves that shimmer silver in the night. Beneath the tree stands a bench carved from stone, polished smooth by time. Sit there, letting the hush of the lagoon wrap around you. From this quiet height, look out across everything you've visited tonight: the orchard heavy with fruit, the candlelit pavilion, the valley dotted with warm lights, the calm lake resting under the stars. All of it is part of a single landscape, and you are at its center, steady, capable, at ease. Close your eyes and imagine roots from the oak stretching deep into the earth, anchoring it against every breeze. Feel yourself just as grounded, connected to strength that doesn't need to shout. Picture too, the branches reaching wide, open to receive light, rain, and the gentle touch of the wind. Let that image remind you that balance comes from being rooted and open at once. When you're ready, rise from the bench and place a hand on the tree's trunk, as though thanking it for its quiet lesson. Walk slowly back along the lantern path until you return to the lagoon. Step into the boat and let it push off from shore, gliding back through the willow channel toward the open lake. The water is calm, the air cool, and the night sky holds every star exactly where it belongs. Lie back once more and allow your body to grow heavy, your breath soft and steady. Everything you've seen, the gardens, the bridges, the laughter, the gentle light, gathers now as a quiet strength inside you. You don't need to grasp it or hold it tight, it will stay, waiting beneath the surface, ready to rise whenever you pause and breathe. As the boat drifts, you sense sleep or rest coming closer, wrapping you in warmth. Trust this calm as you settle, knowing that the patience, clarity, and kindness you've touched tonight are already part of you, ready to guide each thoughtful step you take when you wake. The boat drifts slowly toward the center of the lake once more. The water is a sheet of glass, mirroring the stars so perfectly that it feels as if you are floating through the sky itself. The breeze has grown softer, carrying only the faintest scent of pine and meadow. Every muscle in your body is loose now. Your hands rest easily. Your jaw unclenches, and your breathing is steady and light. As you lie there, gazing upward, you notice how the stars seem to pulse faintly, like the quiet beat of a heart. They remind you that life has its own rhythm, that steady movement is enough. You don't need to chase or force. You need only to keep a calm center and let your steps rise naturally from it. A gentle hush spreads over the lake, and even the water seems to pause. The world feels wide and safe, holding space for whatever tomorrow may bring. You sense the warmth of all the places you visited tonight, lanterns flickering in the square, laughter at the pavilion, the steady oak standing watch, settling inside you, becoming part of the quiet strength you'll carry when you wake. Close your eyes now and let the last images fade, until only a deep velvety darkness remains behind your eyelids. Allow that darkness to cradle you, to give your body permission to rest. Trust that everything you need, clarity, balance, gentleness, focus, is already present, waiting to support you when morning light returns. With one final slow breath, let yourself drift into sleep, or into a stillness just as nourishing. The lake, the sky, and the quiet within you remain, steady and kind, guiding you into peaceful rest. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a meadow at dusk. A soft breeze ripples through tall grasses, carrying the scent of lavender and fresh earth. Fireflies blink lazily, their small lights flickering against the deepening sky. Ahead, a cobblestone path winds toward a stone archway draped with climbing roses. Step through the arch and feel how the air on the other side is cool and still, as though you've entered a place set aside for calm thought. Beyond the arch stretches a courtyard paved with smooth flagstones. In its center is a round fountain, spilling water in an even, gentle rhythm. Benches line the edges, and potted herbs release their fragrance in the twilight. Sit for a moment on one of the benches and watch the water rise and fall. Let it remind you that steady effort, like the fountain's flow, creates its own quiet reward. From the courtyard, follow a series of shallow steps up to a broad terrace. Lanterns glow along its stone balustrade, casting golden halos on the floor. Spread out before you is a view of rolling hills, dotted with olive groves and small cottages. The first stars shine overhead, and the whole landscape seems to breathe at an easy pace. Imagine yourself living in harmony with that rhythm, moving through tasks with purpose but without strain, finishing your work and leaving space to rest and enjoy the fruits of your labor. A door at the far end of the terrace leads to a long hall lined with shelves. Each shelf holds a project or idea you've cared for, a small book you've begun to write, a handmade object, a plan for how you'll organize your time or look after your resources. Run your hands along them as you pass, feeling their solid presence. They're not rushed or fragile. They're waiting for you to tend them with patience and care. At the hall's end, a tall window opens onto a secluded garden lit by moonlight. A stone table rests beneath an old fig tree, its branches heavy with fruit. Sit at the table and imagine preparing for the coming days with calm focus, perhaps setting clear intentions for your work, planning steady steps for your savings, or simply choosing to spend time on what brings you quiet joy. As you picture these things, feel how natural it is for them to take shape when you meet them with ease rather than hurry. When you leave the garden, follow a narrow lane bordered by rosemary bushes and low lanterns. The lane slopes gently down toward a silver lake, its surface smooth as glass beneath the moon. Your small boat waits, tied to a wooden post. Step inside and settle comfortably. The water lifts you, rocking lightly, as it carries you toward the center of the lake. Look up at the sky, now filled with stars. Each one seems to echo a small but steady truth, that you are capable of nurturing good things, that there is time for care, and that balance is possible. Let that awareness spread through you like warmth from within, until you feel completely supported, calm, and ready for deep rest. Picture the first faint light of dawn spilling over a quiet valley. You're standing on a wooden balcony high on a hillside, wrapped in a soft blanket. Below, the world is still asleep. Mist drifts above a silver river, and fields lie quiet under a thin layer of dew. The air is cool, scented with pine and fresh grass, and carries a promise that today is open and waiting. Step back inside a small cabin behind you. Its walls glow with a gentle warmth from the fireplace, and simple shelves hold books, mugs, and a few small treasures gathered over time. On a sturdy table rests a leather journal and a cup of steaming tea. Sit down and take a sip. The tea is fragrant, grounding you in the present moment. Open the journal and let your eyes fall on the blank page. Imagine writing a few clear sentences about what matters most today. Kindness, focus, balance, time for yourself. Steady steps toward your goals. When you've written, set the journal aside and open the cabin door. Outside, the sun has begun to rise in earnest, painting the sky in layers of coral and gold. Walk down a narrow path that winds through the hillside. The earth is cool beneath your feet, and every turn reveals new colors as the light touches trees and stones. A small bridge crosses a brook, singing quietly over polished stones. Pause there for a breath, watching the water move with quiet certainty toward the valley below. Continue along the path until you reach a meadow, its tall grass gleaming in the sunlight. Here, a long table has been set with a simple breakfast, fresh bread, honey, and fruit arranged in clay bowls. Friends and companions sit nearby, talking softly, sharing plans for their day. Their smiles invite you to join them. As you sit, notice how unhurried the moment feels, a reminder that mornings can begin not with rush, but with calm presence and clear intent. After sharing food and laughter, stand and walk to the far edge of the meadow. A wooden gate opens onto a gentle slope, leading to a lake that mirrors the brightening sky. The surface shimmers with gold as you step onto a small dock. A boat waits, tethered loosely, rocking in the light breeze. Step in and settle against the seat. As you drift, sunlight warms your face and the quiet of the lake surrounds you. Feel how open and steady the day seems from here. Let a simple phrase settle softly inside. I move forward with clarity and ease. Repeat it once, then let it fade into silence, leaving only a deep sense of calm. The lake, the sunrise, and the laughter from the meadow stay with you, woven into a quiet strength you can carry through the hours ahead, or into the restful sleep that will prepare you for them. Imagine yourself walking along a quiet lane just after sunset. The air is mild, carrying the scent of jasmine and freshly turned earth. Fireflies hover low over the grass, their lights flickering softly like tiny lanterns. As you stroll, you notice an ivy-covered gate slightly ajar. Push it open and step into a walled garden washed with moonlight. The garden feels alive, but unhurried. Low hedges line curving paths, and roses lean toward you from weathered trellises. In the center, a stone fountain sings a quiet song, its water slipping over mossy edges into a clear basin. Sit on a nearby bench and listen to the gentle flow. The sound steadies your breath, loosening any tension clinging to your shoulders. Across the garden stands a glass house, its panes glowing faintly in the moonlight. Walk over and step inside. The air is warm and fragrant with herbs, thyme, basil, and a hint of citrus. Shelves hold terracotta pots, bursting with green shoots, while a long table in the middle is scattered with sketches, open books, and small wooden boxes filled with paintbrushes and pencils. This is a studio for quiet making, a place where ideas can bloom without rush. Choose a seat at the table. Before you lies a single blank page, a jar of ink, and a pen resting patiently beside it. Pick up the pen and let your hand wander across the paper. Perhaps you draw a small picture of something you want to nurture, a new habit, a skill you'd like to deepen, a way of caring for your resources or your health. Or maybe you write a sentence about a calm goal, something you'll approach step by steady step. Whatever appears is perfect, there's no pressure, only space for gentle creation. When you've finished, set the page aside and look around the glass house once more. Notice how every plant, every tool, every scrap of paper carries the same quiet invitation: tend what matters. Give it time and it will grow. Step back outside into the moonlit garden. The air is cool now, scented with roses and damp stone. A narrow path leads you through an archway draped with wisteria to a small dock at the edge of a hidden pond. A wooden skiff waits, rocking slightly on dark water that mirrors the night sky. Step in, settle onto the seat, and let the skiff drift. Above you, constellations shimmer. Their reflections scatter across the pond, making it look as though you're floating through stars. Feel how calm and complete the evening has become. Everything you've touched, the fountain, the sketches, the soft scent of herbs, rests inside you. A quiet encouragement to move forward with care, creativity, and balance. Allow that sense of gentle purpose to spread through your chest, filling you with warmth. Lie back in the skiff and close your eyes. The pond holds you, steady and light. As sleep or calm reflection begins to rise, know that you can return here, to this moonlit garden, this clear studio, this calm night, whenever you need to remember how patience and quiet focus give strength to everything you hope to build. Picture yourself on a quiet hillside, just after a gentle rain. The air is cool and clear, rich with the scent of wet earth and pine needles. A narrow track winds upward, bordered by ferns that glisten with drops of water. Follow the track at an easy pace, noticing how each step feels grounded, how the world around you seems to exhale after the shower. At the crest of the hill, the landscape opens into a wide plateau, dotted with small lanterns, glowing amber against the early dusk. In the middle stands a wooden hall built of smooth beams, its doors carved with delicate patterns of leaves and rivers. Push the door open and step inside. A wide room stretches before you, warm with lamplight and the quiet hum of voices. Long tables are set with simple food: loaves of bread, bowls of soup, pitchers of clear water, baskets of fruit. People you know and some you've yet to meet sit together, sharing stories and laughter. There's space for you. And as you take your seat, a sense of belonging settles over you like a soft cloak. The air carries the aroma of fresh herbs and baked bread. Around you, conversations rise and fall with easy rhythm. Neighbors talking about gardens, friends describing new ideas, someone reading aloud from a well-loved book. A host brings a small candle and sets it gently by your plate. Its flame is steady, casting a warm circle of light. As you look around the room, you understand that generosity doesn't always need grand gestures. Sometimes it begins with listening, with offering calm support, with giving a little of what you've grown. You imagine yourself sharing skills, time, or encouragement with the same ease that fills this hall. After the meal, music begins. Soft strings and a single flute weaving a quiet melody. People start to dance slowly, or simply sway with the tune. The floorboards under your feet vibrate faintly with each note, grounding you in a moment, free from hurry or strain. You step into the gentle rhythm, moving easily, letting warmth rise in your chest as you watch smiles spread across familiar faces. When the music fades, everyone carries their candles outside. The group gathers on the plateau beneath a sky now strewn with stars. A breeze lifts, cool and fragrant, brushing past your face. Together, you hold the candles high. For a moment, their lights joining the constellations above. The scene feels like a quiet celebration of steady hearts, a reminder that patience and kindness create spaces where others can rest, grow, and shine. Slowly, the gathering disperses. You walk back across the plateau, past the hall, with its doors closing gently behind you. Down the hillside, the air is fresh, carrying hints of rosemary and wood smoke. At the base, your small boat waits at the edge of a calm river, its surface smooth as silk. Step aboard and settle in. The river accepts you easily, guiding you toward the wide lake you visited before. Lie back, watching the stars mirrored in the water. The memories of bread shared, of quiet music, of steady candlelight stay with you, filling you with gratitude and soft strength. Allow that warmth to settle deep inside, knowing you can return to this sense of generous calm whenever you need balance or connection. As daylight fades, picture yourself strolling along a quiet lane that winds through a patchwork of fields. The last warmth of the sun touches your skin while the sky shifts to a soft wash of lilac and rose. A light breeze moves through the tall grasses, releasing their earthy fragrance. Somewhere nearby, a brook sings a clear, steady tune. Follow the lane until you see a cluster of lanterns glowing at the edge of a small grove. Step beneath the trees, their leaves whispering above you, and discover a clearing where tables and benches form a welcoming circle. A few people sit there, speaking in low voices, their faces peaceful in the fading light. They greet you with a nod, inviting you to join them. You take a seat on a smooth bench. In the center of the gathering stands a stone fire pit, its flames gentle and warm rather than fierce. Someone hands you a cup of fragrant tea. As you sip, you watch the firelight dance over the faces around you, expressions calm, steady, grateful. A quiet understanding seems to pass through the group, that life is richest not in constant striving, but in moments like this, where presence and kindness have room to grow. After a while, soft music begins, a single guitar plucking a slow, soothing melody. The sound blends with the murmuring brook, with the rustle of branches, with the small sighs of contentment from those nearby. You lean back, letting the bench support you, your body releasing the last bits of tension. When the music fades, your companions rise one by one, each placing a smooth stone near the fire. You do the same, setting your stone down with quiet intention, a symbol of something you'll tend with patience, whether it's a habit, a goal, or a simple wish for balance. Together, the stones form a gentle ring, a reminder that small, steady gestures build something lasting. As twilight deepens, the gathering drifts apart, each person walking slowly down their own path through the grove. Lanterns guide you back along the lane. The brook's song softens behind you, and a few stars glimmer above the treetops. You arrive once again at the edge of a lake, now reflecting a sky deep with indigo. Your small boat waits, bobbing softly at its mooring. Step aboard, settle into the familiar seat, and push gently away from the shore. The water accepts you, holding you steady as you drift into the center of the lake. Look up at the stars spread wide above, their calm light echoing the warmth still lingering from the fire. Take a slow breath, letting every detail, the stones, the lanterns, the quiet company, gather inside you as a quiet strength. Close your eyes, trusting that this peaceful steadiness will stay with you, guiding how you meet the moments ahead. Whether you're slipping into sleep now or waking to a new day later, as the boat drifts quietly across the lake, a silver glow begins to spread along the horizon. It's the first hint of moonrise, washing the water with a soft light. Let the rhythm of the lake steady you, while you watch that pale disk lift slowly above the hills, casting a path of light straight toward your small vessel. Follow that shining path with your eyes, until you see, on the far bank, a grove of tall poplars swaying lightly in the evening breeze. Step ashore and walk among them. Their trunks rise smooth and white, their leaves rustling like gentle applause. A narrow trail leads deeper into the grove, where a lantern hangs from a simple wooden arch. Beyond the arch is a courtyard paved with polished stone. A shallow pool lies at its center, reflecting the moon and stars in perfect stillness. kneel by the pool and look at your reflection. The moonlight softens your features, and you see calm there, an ease that comes from recognizing how far you've traveled inside tonight. Around the edges of the courtyard stand shelves carved from the stone itself, holding small objects, a carved bird, a folded scarf, a well-used pen, a little jar of herbs. Each one seems to symbolize something you've cared for with quiet dedication. Pick up the carved bird. Its smooth wings fit your palm, as if reminding you of steady flights you've already taken, efforts that mattered, kindnesses you offered, the way you returned to balance after storms. Place it gently back on the shelf and feel a subtle warmth in your chest, a quiet pride that doesn't need applause. When you stand, a breeze moves through the courtyard, stirring the surface of the pool into ripples that catch the moonlight. The sight reassures you. Life is never frozen. It moves, shifts, and flows, and you have learned how to meet its currents with grace. Walk back through the arch and into the grove. The moon now hangs higher, lighting your path as you return to the lake. Your boat waits where you left it, steady in the silver glow. Step aboard and settle once again against the seat. Let your eyes grow heavy as the water carries you further from the shore, deeper into calm. Above, the sky is scattered with quiet stars. Around you, the lake holds a silence, so complete it feels like an embrace. Rest in that stillness, trusting that the clarity, kindness, and balance you've gathered in these scenes remain with you, ready to guide steady hands and a gentle heart when morning comes. The boat rocks softly as you rest against its wooden side. Overhead, the moon glows high, spreading a silver path across the lake. Follow that path with your gaze until it seems to lead directly to a small island nestled among reeds. Row, or simply let the boat drift until you reach a weathered dock where lanterns glow low, guiding you to shore. Step onto the dock and walk up a narrow staircase carved into smooth stone. At the top lies a meadow shimmering in moonlight. The grass is dotted with tiny white blossoms that release a faint, sweet fragrance when you brush past them. Ahead, you notice a low arch woven from willow branches. Beyond it, a round pavilion waits, its roof open to the night sky. Inside, cushions and woven rugs form a circle around a small fire, burning in a clay bowl. Sit near the fire and let its warmth reach your hands. Around the circle are more objects: a basket of fruit, a jug of water, a set of brushes and parchment. Everything invites you to pause, to nourish yourself, to create. Imagine dipping a brush into soft ink and drawing a single calm line on the paper, a line that represents balance, a steady flow through each part of your life. It doesn't need to be perfect. Its value lies in its quiet clarity. When you finish, set the brush aside and look up at the sky. Stars gather above, bright against the dark velvet. They seem to form gentle constellations that echo what you've felt here: patience, focus, generosity, space to breathe. Let that message settle into you as naturally as starlight settling on water. Stand and leave the pavilion by another path that slopes down to a hidden shore. There, a clear stream winds out of the island, its surface smooth and luminous. Kneel and dip your hands into the cool water. As it slides through your fingers, sense it washing away the weight of rush or doubt, leaving only a clean readiness to meet whatever tomorrow brings. Rise slowly, letting the quiet fill you. Follow the stream back toward the dock, its gentle trickle becoming part of the lake's hush. Step once more into your boat. As you settle, notice how familiar the rhythm has become. Journey, stillness, gentle return. The boat glides over the silver water, carrying with it everything you've gathered: moonlight, warmth, the slow assurance of balance. Lean back, close your eyes, and allow the calm to spread through every part of you. Trust that, even as you drift deeper into rest, the steadiness you've touched tonight remains close, ready to support you in the soft light of morning. The boat drifts through the last stretch of moonlit water, and on the far side of the lake, a new glow begins to rise, a quiet shimmer where night and dawn meet. Let the boat glide until its bow touches a small beach made of fine, pale sand. Step ashore and follow a winding trail lined with smooth stones. Each stone catches a glint of silver from the moon and a hint of gold from the waking sun. The path leads you into a valley where tall grass sways in a gentle breeze. A low stone wall marks the entrance to an orchard heavy with morning dew. Apples, pears, and figs hang from the branches, their skins shining softly. Walk slowly between the rows, brushing your fingers across cool leaves. The air smells of sweetness and new beginnings. Here and there, birds stir on the branches, stretching wings before their first flight of the day. At the heart of the orchard stands a wide wooden table laid with a simple cloth. Upon it rests a bowl of fruit, a clay pot of fresh water, and a lantern whose light flickers softly despite the growing dawn. Sit at the table and let yourself feel the calm weight of everything you've gathered tonight. The quiet hall, where laughter rose like music, the studio of paper and brushes, the moonlit pavilions, the steady flame at the lake's edge. All of them meet here, blending into a sense of balance and gentle purpose. Reach for the clay pot and pour a little water into a cup. Drink slowly. With each sip, let go of whatever tension still lingers, allowing clarity to take its place. Then pick up a piece of fruit, an apple, smooth and cool in your hand. Bite into it and taste the sweetness, simple and real. A reminder that the work of tending yourself is also a gift you can enjoy. When you've finished, stand and take in the view, the orchard glowing softly, the lake catching the first colors of dawn, the sky opening wide above you. Feel a quiet certainty settle into your chest, steady as the trees around you. You are capable of shaping your days with thoughtfulness. You can build, share, and rest without hurry. Guided by the calm you've nurtured inside, turn back toward the beach where your boat waits. Step aboard and let it carry you gently into the center of the lake one last time. Lie back, close your eyes, and let the soft rocking hold you. All around, the horizon is brightening, a promise of light meeting stillness. Take one more slow breath. Allow every scene, orchard, pavilion, lantern, studio, firelit gathering, to rest quietly inside you. Trust that this calm strength is yours to keep. Ready whenever you pause to listen to yourself as you rest there. Floating in the quiet center of the lake, notice how every scene from tonight has settled inside you. The orchard waiting in first light, the lanterns and pavilions, the laughter shared around a steady fire, the moonlit paths, the clear stream that asked nothing of you but to be present. All of them belong to you now, woven into a steady rhythm you can return to whenever life feels rushed or uncertain. Take a slow breath and let your body grow even heavier against the seat. There is nothing you need to do, no effort left to make. The calm you've gathered will hold until you choose to rise again. Whether that means opening your eyes to a peaceful morning or slipping into a deep, nourishing sleep. If this time has brought you ease, keep it close. Let these moments remind you, as you step back into your own day, that clarity and gentleness are not luxuries. They're strengths. They give shape to the way you work, rest, create, and share. They open space for balance, for generosity, for steady joy. And if you'd like to return here to these quiet shores, know that you're always welcome. You can come back to listen, to rest, to refill the quiet inside you whenever you need. If this journey has been meaningful, you might share a few words in the comments. Your story could be the light someone else needs to find calm. And subscribing is a way to keep this space waiting for you, ready when you are. For now, let the soft rocking of the boat become the rhythm of your breath. Allow your eyes to close fully, your thoughts to settle like sand at the bottom of clear water. Trust that steadiness lives within you, guiding each careful step when you wake. Good night, and thank you for letting these words be a companion on your path. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a wide plateau, bathed in late afternoon light. The sun hangs low, casting a honey-gold glow over hills that roll gently toward the horizon. A narrow track of smooth stones winds away from where you stand, inviting you forward at an easy pace. With every step, you notice how warm the light feels on your shoulders, how soft the breeze is as it brushes against your face. Follow the track until it reaches a garden gate, woven from branches of willow and hawthorn. Push it open and enter a secluded orchard. The air here is cool and fragrant, a blend of ripe fruit, herbs, and the faint sweetness of wildflowers. Pear trees arch overhead, their leaves rustling softly, while clusters of small apples gleam among branches heavy with dew. A wooden bench waits beneath a canopy of vines, perfectly placed to watch the play of sunlight across the grass. Sit for a while on the bench. Look around at the orchard, and imagine each tree as a symbol of something you've tended, a skill you've been learning, a kindness you've offered, a part of yourself you've been gently strengthening. Notice how every branch carries the quiet proof of patient attention. Blossoms turn to fruit, growth that happens slowly but surely. After a time, rise and walk toward a stone terrace at the far end of the orchard. Beyond it, a small river winds lazily through meadows dotted with bluebells and soft, white clover. Kneel at the water's edge and watch it glide over smooth pebbles, clear and steady. Let it remind you that your own progress can be like this current, not forced, but constant, always moving towards something wider. Step onto a little wooden raft tied to the bank. Untie the rope and let the current draw you downstream. As you float, the river carries you past quiet fields, along stands of cedar and pine, under arched bridges that frame pockets of evening sky. The pace is unhurried, and you feel yourself relaxing even more deeply, as though each bend in the river releases another layer of tension. Soon the current brings you to a shallow bay, where the water spreads into a mirror-smooth pool. Step off the raft and walk along the shore until you find a circle of flat stones arranged around a low fire. Its flames glow softly, neither bright nor dim, perfectly balanced against the softening dusk. Sit beside it. Watch sparks rise, curling upward, before dissolving into the darkening sky. As you sit there, allow a simple thought to take root, that what you nurture, through care, through focus, through kindness, gathers strength quietly, becoming something you can trust. Feel that understanding settle in your chest like a calm heartbeat. Stay with the image until the fire becomes a warm blur, and the only thing left is a steady sense of ease. When you're ready, return to the raft. Let it carry you once again toward the open lake, where starlight is beginning to scatter across calm water. Lie back, gaze upward, and allow the night to hold you, knowing you can come back to this place of gratitude and balance whenever you choose. As you rest now, let the calm from this journey settle deeply inside you. Every scene you've walked through, the orchards, the moonlit pavilions, the gentle rivers, the quiet firelight, has been a reminder that balance and clarity already live within you. They don't ask for haste or striving. They simply need space to breathe. Carry that steady strength with you as you rise to meet a new day, or as you drift into a long, nourishing sleep. Trust that small, thoughtful steps create lasting change, and that you have everything you need to tend the life you want to build. If tonight's journey has brought you peace, consider sharing your experience in the comments. Your words may give someone else the encouragement they've been waiting for. And if you'd like to return here whenever you need calm and guidance, subscribe and keep this space close. Each time you press play, you're giving yourself permission to pause, to reset, and to listen to the quiet wisdom already inside you. For now, let your eyes grow heavy, your breath slow and even. Allow the stillness you've gathered to carry you through sleep, or through the first clear steps of tomorrow. Thank you for spending this time here. May you move forward with gentleness, clarity, and a quiet confidence in everything you create.